Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. So this is a video that I have been wanting to make for a really long time, and I decided to go ahead and do it this year. I will say it did not turn out as good as I hoped it would, but that's okay. I had a lot of fun doing it, and so I thought I would still share the video anyway. I was debating on whether I would. So the catalyst to me wanting to do this video this year was, since we moved into a new house, we decided to get a new Christmas tree, which we've been waiting to do until we got a house. And we got this one, which is quite large. And my grandma's tree was quite large too, which I thought was a fake tree, but I kind of feel like it might have been a real tree now that I've tried to recreate it. I definitely thought they would be more similar in size and shape, but I feel like they're not at all. And that's part of the reason why it doesn't look super great. I don't know. But like I said, it was a really fun thing to do. So I think I might try it again next year with a different tree. But one of the things that this really made me think about more than anything was how back before social media and the internet, really the only people that saw your Christmas tree were, your family who lived with you or came to visit or friends. So it was a very small percentage of people that ended up seeing it. And I guess you could take a picture and mail it to someone, but that would probably be your family or your friend. And it's just so weird now because I think that whenever I look back at photos of trees, they just seem so simple and different than like how people show them now, especially with social media. It's just very interesting, like the evolution of the way Christmas trees look, especially since social media. So this is my grandma's tree from 1984. So I was 2 years old, and I was the only grandchild at this point. So I think it was kind of a big deal because this would have probably been my first, I know what's going on Christmas. But this was her tree, and I've always loved looking at photos of this tree because I think it's just really cute. So I tried my best to find the things that I needed, if I didn't have them, to recreate it as best I could. I didn't get the exact topper, but I got a similar one. These were popular during that time. I put colored lights on. I feel like I can't even tell if she had colored or white, but I feel like most people used colored lights during the 80s. So once I got the lights on, I kind of started to think this isn't the same shape, but here we are. Now, I live in a very, very small area, and the things that I did need to buy were some red garland and gold garland. Well, this was the only red garland I could find, which I believe is a bit smaller and different texture. And this was the only gold garland, which is much, much smaller than the garland that is on her tree, but it's all I had to work with. So it was really, I have some old boxes of garland that weren't the right colors, but on the backs of these, often they would show diagrams of how to do different designs. And I think this was also really popular at that time, which I think is probably what she was going for, because you can see the gold and then the red laid over top. So I tried my best to follow the design, and also she had tinsel on her tree, which I didn't want to use tinsel because I have a cat and that those two things don't mix. In hindsight, I do feel like the tinsel added a lot more than I realized once I got the tree done. But as you can see, the gold is underneath kind of in a pattern, but also I guess this goes back to what I was saying before, how people didn't try to make their trees look perfect because, again, it was just your family and friends that saw it, which I just think that's, there's something very charming about that, not, decorating just to post on social media. But so I did my best to try and follow the lines. I only have 5 photos of this tree, and they're pretty much all at the same angle. but I could tell right away that the garland was just so much smaller, and it also wasn't really laying the same. It had like a wire inside, I think. But, you know, that's all I had to work with. And then I put the red down over as well, which is actually kind of like loops at the bottom. Like it wasn't individual pieces. It kind of just went up and down, kind of wrapped around the top, which again, the red is a little bit smaller too. But I was like, you know, I'm this far in, I'm going to keep going. But you can tell just by looking at the original that it's a much different looking garland, and then also with the tinsel. But hey, so I pulled out some ornaments that I had on hand. Now I don't have very many glass ornaments because I use them all to make wreaths with, which I made a video on that a few years ago, but I do have a couple here, and especially these like indented like mercury glass ones. There was a lot of those on her tree, but I do have these plastic like replicas, so I'm just going to use those. And then I do have a lot of vintage like flocked ornaments. She had a lot of Santas on her tree, and there was some deer that I could see as well. There was a boot as well, but it was white, but I only have red boots, so I was like, well, that can substitute. And then this is the most special part of this entire thing, is these two ornaments are actually from my grandma's tree. A couple of years ago, my aunt sent them to me from her tree, which was so special because they obviously mean a lot to her as well. But I'm so grateful and happy that she gave them to me, because I'll treasure them for the rest of my life. So I felt like those had to be included in the tree. It's hard to tell because there's so many different Santas and Mrs. Claus on the tree, like which is which, but I just thought it would be cool to have them both on the tree while doing this. Okay, so here it is with all the decorations, and I feel it looks not a lot at all like the original, and I think again it's largely to do with the shape and then the garland size and then not using the tinsel. But I did try and replicate all of the ornaments in the places that they were, so I feel like I did get that pretty good. But when you step back and look at it, I feel like it looks nothing like it. But it was really fun to do. I do feel like I want to try this again with a different tree. I might have mentioned that. I have photos of another tree from my other grandma from the late 80s. And I feel like her tree is a lot more the same shape as my tree now. And I don't know. So I might give it a try again next year. I haven't seen anyone do a video like this, but I think it's so fun. I would love it if this became trendy amongst vintage YouTubers. But anyway, so here it is, my failed attempt at recreating this tree. I don't know, I'm gonna plan better for next year, I think, and try it again because it was super fun. And yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And I'll see you again soon with another vintage Christmas video.